Hi YouTubers and gamers, and I'm back with a mini video today. I thought I would talk about my one of my most expensive consoles I own. It's a Neo Geo AES, and I got it all boxed and complete from Japan, and I have one official AES game, that's Samurai Showdown 2, which came with the console, but I also have a, which I'll show in a minute, a cheaper alternative to play the games. So, just mind the cat, she's meowing. I will talk about that in a minute, but first of all, one of the things I wanted to show was this little Neo Geo bag, which I've got to contain the console in. When I'll put it out of the box so I can play with it and so forth, but I bought that bag. It's you know, it's not an official one, but it has got all the logo and everything else on it. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the system, shall we? Right, as you can see, my AES has got a blue LED on the reset switch, and so obviously that's a sign that I've had mine modded. And to be honest, if you do buy a Neo Geo AES, it's a really good idea to get the latest UniBIOS installed and make it RGB ready, and while they're at it they can always add a LED light to a reset switch, because the standard AES doesn't come with a power light, which is unusual. But yeah, there's a company in the States called Neotropolis that does this for a fair fee. It's not hugely expensive. But what is expensive, obviously, is for me, in my case, is to ship the AES out to them in the States and get it shipped back, and inevitably getting hit by a customer's charge. There is a company in the UK, I don't know if it's Console Passion or whatever, but one company does do it in the UK. But I had contacted them, and they took about 2 or 3 months before they get back to me, so I gave up hope of getting them to mod it. So I went to the States in the end, but they did a grand job. Also in the console, as you can see, is a MVS cart. It's a multi-game 161 in 1 multi-cart that you can get relatively cheaply from AliExpress. Mine was about £40 imported, and on there is 161 Neo Geo AES games, and you would think, well, that must be nearly a whole collection. Well, there are a number of games whereby there are about half a dozen versions of the same game, especially with the King of Fighters series. So there aren't exactly 161 completely different games, but variations. You've got most of the games that you want, but I am waiting for the Series 2 MVS multi-cart to come out one day, which will probably come out sometime. To play it, obviously, on a AES, you need, as you can see beneath it, just like there, a Neowave Magic Key. That's a must, really, to actually, because obviously the MVS carts are larger than the AES carts. So you need that converter, and if you just plug it into a standard AES, even though the games will play, unfortunately you won't be able to use any of the cheats that come with the MVS game. They just simply won't work. So you will need to get, like I said, a modded AES UniBIOS if you want to use any cheats, which really are a must, if I may say so. To play with console, I do have a proper analog control arcade stick that came with the box AES, but I tend to use this little bad boy for ease. It's pretty good, nice clicky analog switch, and it does the job. So if you're interested in how these work, I'll just briefly talk through. Basically, on the Magic Key, there's a tiny switch there in the middle of the screen in black. I don't know if you can make it out. Basically, when you power on the system, you need to make sure that little switch, that little black button, is pressed in, and it will take you through to the multi-cart. Okay, and basically I'll just give a a brief demonstration. So I press the power on the AES and holding that little black button on the magic key, and it'll come on and it should load up. Well, 161 in 1. Okay, and you just go left and right and choose whatever game you want, blah blah blah. Nothing special there. Let's go to shop. Which one shall we go? Let's keep going. Last Soldier. Let's go for Last Soldier. If you select it, it'll take you to this, and it won't actually. It will keep going in cycle until you press reboot and reset button, the blue reset button, and the black button on the key again. So I'll press the green key button, reboot it, and it should load it up. Okay, here's the game loaded. Now, to access the cheats, what you need to do is press select and start at the same time, and bring you to the cheats menu. And basically, you just press B to select what you want, or A to select what you want. Sorry. You can unlock infinite time, 1-up infinite energy, the usual standard cheats that you would expect. So put AES infinite credits. Let's have that. Player 1 infinite credits. Infinite time. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple cheats you can use really. Let's have infinite energy, infinite power up, and infinite energy red. Infinite time maybe. Yeah, so this should be quite easy to play. Once you're happy with everything, you just press C to exit. C again, and it'll take us into a game with the required cheats. Press start. Now it says on the credits, which you can't quite see because the K-line's in the way, credits 4, and it just stays on 4. But no matter how bad I do, I don't lose any life, I don't die or anything, so obviously the cheats are working. Yeah. And you can go in and out of that menu and change the cheats as you like. There are other things you can change, like debug dip settings, which I'm not messing around with, patch memory and other bits and bobs. I'm not messing around with those. But basically, you have to remember, this is like proper ROMs playing original hardware. It's not like an emulator, so you're not going to get your save states and stuff like that. But you do get your cheats, which is, you know, more important in my opinion, really. Especially with the AES system, it's not like you've got infinitely long games and stuff, really. It's for cheats that you really need to get you through a system, because some games you can still have save states, but you still can't get past certain levels because they're just too difficult. Okay, yeah, so that's my AES, you know, little video on that. But there are cheaper alternative ways of playing AES systems or games, and I'm going to show you an example of one now. Hi guys, I'm back, and what I'm about to show you is a cheap alternative way of playing AES games and many retro games. Now, obviously you can get things like a Raspberry Pi, or even the more basic Orange Pi, and use those to play your games on, or you can get things like the NES Classic or SNES Classic and everything else really. And there's various arcade machines out there you can get as well. I myself have got a large arcade machine that's got a PC built inside. with about 8,000 retro games in, and that's in the main game room connected to a nice widescreen TV monitor. But sometimes you want something portable and on the go, which you can take on travels with you on holiday to places. And also, from my point of view, I wanted something that I can plug into here without taking much room. And that would be, one solution to that would be basically a Android TV box. Now, this 4K Android TV box comes with a box, it comes with a remote control, comes with a basic unit. That is it, the Z69 4K Android TV box. It's quite a nice, it's a good little box. It's got a lot of all the outputs that you'll need, USBs and so forth. It connects Wi-Fi. It's got a slot for a mini SD card, or micro SD card I should say. And you've got all your HDMI outputs. You can connect by Ethernet, obviously your power. It's got everything you need basically in this little box. And I think, I'm trying to remember what the internal memory was. I know that there is like in total about 40 gigs of memory, including the memory stick. That was put in there when I bought this bad boy. And I bought it from eBay so that installs all the software for you. Because this ball plate, it's Kodi based, which obviously is like a great grandchild of the Xbox Media Center. And it comes with emulation station or whatever as the main body of emulators, and I'll show you that in a minute. But it also comes with 2 official Sony PS3 controllers, which is good. They're all ready to go to play the games with. So let's have a quick look, shall we? As your power's on, you can probably see the TV screen. I'll just bring you a bit closer. Sorry if it's a bit juddery. You hold the PlayStation button on the controller as well while it's doing all this. Takes a little while to load. Here we are. And basically, like I said, you just use your PS3 controller. Like I said, it comes with 2, so it's ideal for your 2-player games. I've got about 780 games saved to my favourites, so you can save your favourites to a particular folder. The way to save games on this system is not as intuitive as you think it is. It's a bit of a process you have to go through. It's not too complicated. Basically what you've got to do is go into your game, select it, whatever, and then press a triangle to save it. Add it to your favourites. Then once you've done a few of those, you need to go into a Kodi media player, go in, then come out again, and they're saved permanently to your memory card. If you don't go into a Kodi media player after saving your favourites, when you power down the machine, they won't remember your favourite saves. So you do need to do that. So that's something you do need to know. But basically, let's go through what we've got. We've got all the shoot 'em ups. We've got 115 classic shoot 'em ups. We've got pretty much the entire Neo Geo library of 142 games here. We've got obviously a Capcom 1 system. We've got 28 games on that arcade system, and a Capcom 2 play system, 29 games there. Capcom 3, 9 games there. On MAME, it comes with 670 games. NES, 791 games. Again, must be in complete libraries here. SNES, 786 games. Nintendo 64, not so many, 31 games, but they're all essentials. Game Boy Advance, 160 games. The Master System, 281 games. The Mega Drive, 777 games. 32X, 33 games on there. PlayStation, we've got 42 games on there. Atari, 2600 games. We've got 647 games there. Atari 7800, we've got 59 games. With TurboGrafx 16, 94 games. So we've got the bulk share of the standard retro games that you would want to play with on the go. So this goes into my favourites, and as you can highlight each game. It obviously gives a title and it shows some screen footage. Some games may have a bit of information in the left-hand corner. I don't know if you can quite see it in yellow. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I think just there's some information about the game. But basically, if you played emulators, you know what's involved. And also you can go into a game. And, if you want to save states, you just press the button combination, which I think is select and R1. No, that's right. You press the select button to get credits, which you need to start your arcade games. And let's try and remember now what's how to do. Yeah, it's a PlayStation button and R1 to save state, and PlayStation button and L1 to load state, which are the key buttons you need to know. There's a few other button combinations that will do things. If you need to go back to the main menu, just press the PlayStation button and start, and that takes you out again. Okay, and like I said, that's a basic nutshell. Now you may ask, that's very nice, how much did that set you back? Well, I got this all set up, already out of the box like it is, for £110. Now you can do it cheap on your own. These Android boxes you can get for about £40 or £50 off eBay, and if you wish to buy a couple of PS3 controllers, they'll probably cost you about £15 each, so that's about, what's that, that's £70, and then you've got to get your memory card, so that's another 15 quid. So you can probably do it for about £90 if you wanted to do it on your own. But you would have to know what to do with, in terms of installing the software, and you'll probably need a lot of time and patience. And to be honest, for the sake of another 20 quid, I'd rather get it all done, for you really. So if I go to, I'll quickly show you something else. Let's come out here and go to. I'm trying to remember how I go to a Kodi now. Is it? Yeah, you press start. You press the PlayStation button and start, and you just go down to your Kodi Media Center if you wish to do that. That'll take you through. I'll just quickly show you if you're interested. I'm not an expert on Kodi, but obviously, as you can imagine, there's a way of watching and streaming various media content off the internet. So this is what you'll need to do if you want, if you wanted to permanently save your favourites. You make sure you come into here, and you just basically go back to power and come out Kodi, and it says go back to emulation station. Yes. And once you've done that, they are permanently saved, your favourites. Any changes you've done to your favourites are permanently saved. It just takes a few seconds to reboot the emulation station. There it is. And then to shut down, like I say, you press the PlayStation button and start, and you basically just go down to shut down system. Okay, you can obviously pair other controllers and configure and change the inputs and stuff, as if you wish to. I mean, like I say, it comes with 3 PS3 controllers already set up in my case, so there's no need to mess around with the settings. So just shut down the system, and there it goes, it shuts down. Okay, so that, guys, is a cheaper way of playing Neo Geo AES games. Sorry, we must move back. Obviously, if you play emulated games and so forth, you get your save states, but you have to. It's a bit more complicated in terms of installing cheats and so forth. And that's all right for from time to time. But on occasion you like to play the original games on the original system. I know I've only got one original game for AES, but then again, I don't fancy spending, well, how much does a full AES library cost you? I don't think you'll get too much change from £20,000, would you? I don't think you probably would. But it may cost a lot more than that even. I haven't really worked it out, but I do know there's many games on the AES that cost thousands on their own, never mind. So it probably will cost about half the price of a small house, I should think, to get a complete AES collection set. Even MVS, which are cheaper, still pricey. So that's it, guys. So take care and bye.